What's up, my people? I'm back, baby. Yeah, 49ers, baby, all day. Repping. It's our year. I know everybody that got their football team, they all saying the same thing, but I really believe it. I really believe it. I think it's our time. We've been to the Super Bowl a couple of times. Ain't nothing happened, but I think this is the year. So big shout out to my 49er fans. Welcome again to My Voice, Our Agenda, when we talk about real shit. Feel me? Listen, all praises to God. I always have to start off with that because I have to be humble. Because I know without God, I am nothing. Thank you for tuning in. For everybody that has subscribed, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I can't thank you enough. Everybody need to pay attention to what I'm about to say. We all come from a woman, right? And you can't take for granted that woman that gave birth to you and raised you. So first, I want to give all my love to my mother. All my love. And I may not show it as much as I should. And I know I got to do better as a son. But I know my foundation. I love that woman. And I learned so much from her because being raised from a very strong, intelligent, solid, no nonsense, loving mother like I have. I have 10 siblings. Um, you know, from my mother. I have other siblings from my father's side, but I have 10 siblings from my mother, right? And we all know, we all know that woman is the queen, the matriarch, right? We all know that. And we all came up with the same uh, ideas, belief system, education, the same structure, the love, you know, and whether you agree with everything or not, you knew she was there. And the foundation that she laid led us to where we are today. So I just want to give all thanks to my mother. And I wanted to touch on womanhood because, you know, having daughters and nieces and sisters and aunts and female friends, um, and the love of my life, right? So it has to be understood that we should protect our woman. Black men, Puerto Rican, Dominican, white, whatever, we have to protect our woman, right? Because we're living in a world where sexual assault, rape, kidnapping, I don't think we realized, or I don't think you guys paid attention. I wrote about it in one of my books, uh, you know, about specifically black women that are missing in America. But for all women that's missing in America, the numbers are growing, 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 growing. And we have to protect our women. We have to protect our daughters. There's so much wickedness out there. These men out here, a lot of them have no good intention. Um, Especially our young girls, they being preyed on, and to ignore that is really a tragedy. I want to thank everybody that's going above and beyond to respect women and to love women and to protect women. And tomorrow's Father's Day, right? And you think I'll be talking about my dad, and I love my dad. Rest in peace. You know, Preston Ryan Sr. That's my dad, and I'll never forget my dad. I'll never forget. How he raised me and how much of an impact he's been in my life. I can still hear some of the wisdom that he gave me when I was just a young boy. Um, and I can still look at the disgust in his face when I strayed and went to the right, but the wrong right way, right? I went to the left. Let me just say that, right? And, I'm out there in the streets or whatever. He didn't know in detail. My mama didn't even know in detail, some of the things that I was doing. And I knew he was disappointed with some of the things that he found out. So, I want to give a happy Father's Day to my dad, who has been everything to me, you know. But my mama, listen here, God bless her, just turned 85 years old. Um, and I don't want to sound, kind of fake here because I need to, be around my mom a whole lot more. I get that. But, I know where I came from. And, you know, she was born in 1940. So you can imagine, what type of environment that was. But when I speak to my mother, you know, she tell me all the great things about her upbringing. She tell me all the beautiful things. And even at 85, she have a sharp mind, right? Because she can remember everything. And God bless my mom, because, coming up, when she was coming up, and I don't know all the details, but, you know, she has so much positive spirit, a beautiful soul. And I know she's been through a lot. I know her siblings and her parents, grandparents and everything. You know, I know she's been through a lot. But a lot of times you can't even tell. She's focused so much on being positive, so much on, wanting you to do better for yourself. Like talking about somebody putting herself behind others so that others can prevail and rise. I never understood that when I was coming up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't appreciate it, and now I appreciate it because I see a lot of women out here that's following that same path. I see my sisters. Some had a rough time, in their lives, and some of them have been successful. They all successful in their own right anyway. But you know, just like the boys, well, not all of them. Two out of the four. Um, really sway to the left. But we all have our own story, right? We all have our own journey, and we all have our own success story, and we all came out of one woman. And, that's the greatest admiration, the greatest role model, the greatest joy you can have. And I love my mama. You know what I'm saying? I do. I appreciate her because not only during my struggle in life, but even when I'm doing good, I thank her because it's not only the bad time where you can reflect on what she has said to you or what she have done for you that you look at your mama. You look at when you're happy because I wouldn't be happy if she did not teach me and show me what it's like to be happy. That's the foundation. And I don't think I can say that, you know, better. So again, Mama, I love you. Rotina Ryan, I love you. And I need to say it more. I need to spend more time with you. I know that. But this podcast, I could not have done it without you. Because when I was looking down and my head was down, you said lift your head up. When people were doubting me, you said don't listen to them. Let them worry about themselves. You look in the mirror and you show that person in front of you that you love him. My mama used to always tell me that. Tough love too. When I was out of pocket, there was no hesitation. But she always wanted the best for me. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I love you. I believe in you. I have faith in you because you had faith in me when nobody did. So for all the mothers out there that have nothing but love for your child or children, I thank you because I know what it's like to be loved by one of the greatest women that ever walked earth. And I say it. And I'm quite sure if you feel like that about your mama, you're going to say the same thing. But this is my time. So I want to say thank you, mama, for everything. I mean it. And I just had to let the world know instead of just writing it down in a book or writing it down in some poetry and just saying it, person to person to somebody else. I want the world to know that my mama is the greatest and will always be the greatest. And I love you. And I always think that any woman that I have in my life, any woman, ever since I started dating, you can never, ever walk in the shoes of my mama. And I don't expect you to. But you better be close enough to stand side by side with my mama. Because if you can't, you ain't for me. So, again, thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for everything. You are the greatest. On that note, I'm going to leave y'all with something that I truly believe. The queen leads, and she leads with an iron fist. If you are that woman, don't let no man tell you different, that you're not beautiful, that you're not strong, that you're not worthy. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if you heavyweight, if you too thin, if your hair is long, short, your skin is light, dark. Don't let nobody, especially a man, because you know some men can be so ignorant. You know what I'm saying? And don't let another woman put you down. Because if I learned anything from my mama, love yourself before you love anybody else. God bless. Thank you for watching another episode of My Voice, Our Agenda. Keep hitting that like button. Violate that like button. Thank you for subscribing. God bless. Live, love, and love yourself. Bless.